Why is my student such a messy eater? Children with autism have sensory processing difficulties that can impact on mealtimes. Without accurate touch information coming in through our touch sensory system, it can be very difficult to manage food and drink that is in our mouth. For this reason, students with autism may drool, gag, bite their cheek, or sometimes swallow the food without it being accurately chewed. Some children with autism also have difficulty managing the amount of food in their mouth, so they're not aware of the volume, and they also can be unaware of how much food is around their mouth, for example like yogurt or crumbs or something like that. We know that there's a really high density of touch receptors in our fingers and around our mouth. So if you have difficulties processing touch information in that particular sensory system, then you're going to find it harder to be aware of that information coming in around your mouth. So that is some of the reasons why you might find that the child is particularly messy. Other reasons are also linked with their motor coordination. So some children find it very difficult to manipulate utensils. It's for the similar reasons that I've already mentioned. If they've got difficulty with processing the information that's coming in through their fingertips, it's going to impact on how they can manipulate a knife and a fork. They also might have difficulty in their proprioceptive system, which relates back to the receptors in their joints and their limbs telling us information about where our hands are in space. So you can imagine if you've got difficulty in that system, you're not going to be aware of the grading of force of your movements, and you might also not be so accurate about where you place the food on the knife or the fork, or the spoon for that matter. So it might be very challenging for the student to first get the food onto their utensil, but then also coordinate the movement so that it reaches up into their mouth and it doesn't go somewhere else all over their body. In instances where the child is quite overwhelmed by meal times, that child might seek out additional sensory inputs through other systems to help try and calm and manage the situation. So a child with autism and with overwhelming mealtime challenges, they might actually spend more time looking, smelling, touching and playing with their food. So you can just imagine how this would create for a messy eater.